Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am here to share some surprising information about a contract that many did not expect. If you haven't already checked out the details of this famous quarterback's deal, get ready to be shocked, as it has surpassed all predictions. Additionally, I have more updates about the team that I will address later. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Today, many athletes are in Las Vegas, and several people are visiting the team. Whenever you look for videos about this team, I have relevant content for you. Remember to subscribe and activate the notifications, as we will have new videos every day, and during the off-season, the frequency will be even higher. Now, let's dive into the details of the contract in question, which extends until the years 2025, 2026, and 2027. The first piece of information that comes up is the base salary, which may or may not be significant. However, the values that truly matter in contracts, especially for the quarterback position, are related to the salary cap. This year, the salary cap is at $40 million, and next season, it will be $26.5 million, an excellent amount for the position. In 2027, the cap will be $39.5 million. All those involved in finalizing this contract, which was completed impressively, deserve recognition, as it is one of the best deals in the league for this position. I am extremely excited and never imagined it would be so advantageous. Now, I want to highlight a few details about this contract, which come from a reliable source. The quarterback signed a 2-year contract extension worth $75 million in April 2025, with $66.5 million guaranteed for injury and $58.5 million guaranteed at signing. As for the guarantees, the new amount is $35.5 million. The base salary for 2025 is guaranteed, along with $18.5 million of the 2026 salary. Additionally, a $16 million bonus was received as part of the previous contract and is considered part of the total guarantee. If the player remains with the team on the third day of the 2026 league year, he will receive an additional $8.5 million in guarantees for that year, resulting in $10.5 million in extra incentives. The salary cap impact for this athlete's salary in 2025 increased by $9 million due to the new contract. I would like to add some comments about this, but first, I would like you to assess the contract extension on a scale from A to F. My assessment will be released soon. I consider this an A-plus contract for the quarterback in question. I believe he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, with the potential to be among the top 10, especially considering the new coaching staff and the offensive line, which is better than what he has had in recent years. To simplify the contract analysis, the $40 million in money should not be a concern, as it comes from the owner and does not impact the team or the salary cap. I see this deal as a practical 2-year, $66.5 million contract, which translates to a legitimate quarterback for approximately $35 million per season. When we look at the $40 million salary cap for this year, it seems reasonable. The $26.5 million for next season and $39 million with no guarantees are positive aspects. There are also incentives to consider, including completion percentage, wins, touchdowns, passing yards, and all of this will be part of the new contract structure. I am truly impressed by the value this contract represents and the reason why it deserves the A-plus rating. It's important to consider the incentives from Geno's previous contract with Seattle, which included completion percentage, wins, passing touchdowns, and passing yards. These aspects influence the current situation. I am really impressed with Geno's contract value, and another reason he deserves a high rating is the flexibility it provides to the coaching staff. The main reason this is a good deal for the team is the high value over the 3 years. You can be sure that you will have a reliable quarterback this season for a total of $40 million. And with the expected salary cap increase next year, the differences with other quarterbacks' contracts become quite evident. Over the last 3 years, Geno Smith has won more games than many top quarterbacks. When we consider the earnings of these players, the situation becomes almost comical. In the end, a team hires a quarterback mainly to secure victories. It's certainly essential that they are good leaders and perform well, and I hope Geno excels. But the primary reason for investing significantly in a quarterback in the NFL is, above all, to win. The fact that only 6 quarterbacks in the last 3 seasons have achieved at least 27 wins is significant, and Geno is among them. If anyone questions Geno's ability or his chances as a quarterback, it's good to share this statistic, as his track record speaks for itself. I understand the lack of playoff wins, but having a solid roster is crucial for postseason success. Moving on to the next reason to consider this a great deal. There's the possibility of cutting him in 2026 or 2027. I would be surprised if the team chooses to part ways with Geno in 2026, but it is an option. The dead money savings would be $8 million on the cap. However, the real analysis should focus on Geno's performance. If he doesn't meet expectations, other quarterbacks with similar skills will likely be making around $55 million in 2027 and about $53 million in 2026. As I mentioned earlier, he's getting far less than he deserves. Moving forward, the structure of the contract is also smart, and I don't believe the team will release Geno this or next season. I am quite confident that Geno will be the team's quarterback for the next 2 years. However, as trades happen frequently in the NFL, I want to emphasize the financial aspect. There will be no dead money in 2026 and nothing in 2027. In 2025, there will be no trade, since we just renewed with him. But if a team shows interest in 2026 or 2027, an opportunity may arise. This opens up space for the team to draft a promising quarterback and have that option in 2026, as many teams would be willing to consider it, for the cost of $26.5 million, which would be an excellent deal. Additionally, there are no guarantees in 2027. I don't think people realize the flexibility this contract has created for the team in the upcoming draft. This is exactly what was needed. Lastly, another reason I consider this an exceptional deal is that it aligns with other important players. When the team offered a new extension to Max, he essentially got a 5-year contract, but with no guarantees in 2027, which suggests that if the team hasn't been winning games by then, the negotiation is in sync with Max Crosby and reflects Pete Carroll's philosophy. What I want to highlight is that by offering a new extension to Max, the Raiders secured a 5-year contract, but without any guaranteed amounts for 2027. This suggests that if the team hasn't been succeeding by then, they might consider parting ways with Geno Smith or persuade Max Crosby to stay while looking for a new quarterback. However, if the Raiders haven't been winning by 2027, I believe Max will seek new opportunities. What leads me to this conclusion is that Geno's salary is lower, while Max Crosby's will be $29 million. This gives the Raiders a range of options for structuring 2027, which I consider a crucial period in their attempt to win the Super Bowl. Carroll has a 3-year contract, with a possibility of a 4th, so if the results don't come with Geno, the discontinuity shouldn't be a major obstacle. This suggests a plan from the Raiders, and I get the impression that having a strategy is essential, and they seem to be executing it effectively. Now, let's talk about some draft visits for the Raiders and the latest updates of the day. For those interested, there's been a lot of debate over some of the 30 visits the team has made, as well as discussions about some from recent times, and some of those names should come back into the discussions. In total, I will talk about some of the best draft candidates the Raiders have at the moment as I'm recording this. I will detail these updates soon. Also, the atmosphere is intense, and expectations are rising as the game day approaches. Whenever I visit Las Vegas, I look for a variety of events, whether it's a home team game, a show from a famous artist, or a basketball match. Today, I'd like to highlight the game involving Luka, especially since there are many admirers of the Los Angeles team present. If I were interested in attending this matchup, I would wait about 1 to 2 hours before the start, as the ticket prices usually drop significantly during this time, as it's basically the last opportunity for sales. I'm thinking of checking the deals today, and I'm optimistic that the ticket prices will decrease as the game approaches, knowing that the fans will be eager to attend. I'm excited for this match tonight, and would like you to share your predictions for the Los Angeles versus Dallas game in the comments. Now, changing the topic to some draft visits happening today, I want to mention a few names that were discussed yesterday during the live broadcast, as they're also in talks with the team. The first name I'm mentioning is the Ole Miss quarterback, who has a strong connection with an important player on the team. They were schoolmates, which brings an interesting dynamic. Personally, I wouldn't recommend the team selecting him in the first round, but if he's available in the second, the conversation could be different. Currently, talks are happening with the Raiders. The first athlete on the agenda is the Ole Miss quarterback, who has a good connection with a former schoolmate. While I don't consider him an ideal choice for the first round, if he were available in the second, he could be an interesting option. However, I foresee this quarterback being selected in the first round due to speculation and rumors about other quarterbacks that might drop in the picks. Before the Geno contract announcement, I would have argued that it would be irrational to pick a quarterback in the first round, but now it seems more likely that this will happen. If Geno underperforms in his first year, the team could part ways with him by 2026 and give a new quarterback a chance. Another name in discussion with the Raiders today is a player I'd be excited to see selected in the second round. He's an excellent defender who had an outstanding performance last season. With the coach's preference for players from his old school, this possibility makes sense. We also have a Michigan edge rusher. One of the comparisons made with this athlete is to one who was selected in the second round during his time with a team in the league. This relates to the ongoing conversation about finding an outside linebacker who might eventually replace a current player, making this mention even more relevant. This name should definitely be considered for the second day of the draft. Another player worth noting is a talent I consider one of the top bets for the Raiders. His name will be mentioned in a video I plan to release tomorrow, as he stands out on the offensive line. I'm not sure if the team sees him as a tackle due to the length of his arms, but a coach has expressed his appreciation for athletes in this position. If you would be surprised to see the Raiders opt for this player with the 6th overall pick, it might indicate a lack of familiarity with the coach's history. Additionally, a Michigan defensive tackle is visiting the Raiders today, and in my opinion, he's the best at his position in this class. It's interesting to note that the Raiders are considering an offensive lineman with the 6th pick, or any player from this position. Perhaps some aren't fully aware of the coach's history. Another prospect among the visitors is a defensive tackle that I consider the best for the team in this draft. While some may disagree, he's undeniably a leader with a strong mentality. He should be present during this visit. There's also another quarterback being evaluated, and I received a message indicating that he's preparing to leave the location as I'm recording this segment. However, this quarterback has become a widely discussed name in relation to the Raiders on the third day of the draft, and I've always believed the team would select a quarterback during that period. They've had multiple meetings with him, which shouldn't be overlooked. He has significant potential and notable throwing ability. What he needs is a few years to develop, which aligns well with Geno's contract situation. Another quarterback who could benefit from 2 to 3 more years of growth is also visiting the Raiders today. The number of quarterbacks the Raiders are currently engaging with is something I really value, as I want them to gain more draft picks and have room for trades. Geno's contract structure gives the team great flexibility, allowing them to convince other franchises that they can opt for a different player at the 6th pick or maybe a quarterback at a lower position. This opens up opportunities to consider a new quarterback on the third day. However, the player who has generated the most interest and whom I've received several messages about is visiting the Raiders today, and I believe he's the main target for the team with the 6th pick in the draft. The value he can bring is undeniable, and they're working hard to integrate him with the athletes involved in off-season activities. His presence at the facilities is certainly generating a lot of excitement, and that's all I'll say for now. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The bright lights of the Strip may soon shine on a new kind of star. In a stunning twist that has sent shockwaves through NFL circles, sources close to the Las Vegas Raiders organization have confirmed a growing internal push to pursue Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. With a franchise hungry for a new identity and an elite signal caller to lead them, the Raiders' fascination with Lawrence has turned from quiet curiosity into full-blown obsession. The timing of this interest is nothing short of ironic. Just months ago, Lawrence inked a record-breaking 5-year, $275 million contract extension with the Jaguars, tying him with Joe Burrow as the highest-paid player in NFL history. But after a turbulent 2024 season that included a significant shoulder injury, a concussion scare, and an underwhelming 2-8 record as a starter, Lawrence's future in Jacksonville has suddenly become clouded with uncertainty. The Jaguars, who missed the playoffs entirely, appear to be at a crossroads, and Las Vegas is ready to make its move. Behind the scenes, the Raiders' front office is reportedly assembling a bold pitch, one that could involve a blockbuster trade package, including multiple first-round picks and a combination of proven veterans. For a team desperate to rebrand under its new leadership and shake off years of mediocrity, Lawrence represents more than just a quarterback. He's the golden ticket to legitimacy, marketability, and perhaps even a return to playoff relevance. Team insiders suggest that Raiders owner Mark Davis has been particularly vocal in his admiration for Lawrence's upside. Despite a rocky 2024 campaign, the 25-year-old quarterback remains a generational talent who once led Clemson to a national title as a freshman and engineered a memorable Jaguars playoff run just 2 years ago. "You don't get chances like this often," said one Raiders executive under the condition of anonymity. "If there's even a crack in the door, we're going to kick it open." While the Jaguars remain officially committed to Lawrence, insiders acknowledge that internal debates are underway about the direction of the franchise. Should Las Vegas come to the table with an irresistible offer, the NFL landscape could shift dramatically. One thing is clear: the silver and black aren't just watching. They're planning and betting big on Trevor Lawrence. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.